We just got done counting down my top 5 stories. I gave you little pieces of behind the scenes, but I want to give you an exclusive behind the scenes action concerning the time of the inauguration. Because for me at this point, I had predicted that there was going to be this terrorism attack, and not only was there one on the Christmas Day bombing in Nashville, then I saw January 3rd play out, and a lot of my stories were actually coming together. I was at that point convinced way more than 50% that Trump was actually involved in 911. And some of my investigations concerning Nashville, they actually led me to the most recent visit that Trump took to Nashville, and some little bits of evidence and circumstance that were centered around Air Force One. And, I started searching, well, what is Air Force One? Is it part of the U.S. Air Force? And a lot of my narratives were intersecting around the time of the inauguration. For instance, I had always talked about the ties, how the information often flows from Russia to the far right news outlets like Alex Jones, and then it can end up on Fox. But I was starting to realize that Fox and the right-wing media, they almost function as a type of terrorist organization back then. And I just became totally convinced that Trump was actually going to try to use Air Force One to attack the inauguration. And I just felt crazy. And, it was probably magnified not only because I predicted the terrorist attacks before they happened, that also, I felt like, oh my God, this guy is the 911 guy. And, I had suspected some people involved with Air Force One concerning the Nashville thing, and putting it all together, I just was totally convinced that he was going to crash Air Force One into the inauguration. And can you just imagine that scenario? And I just felt like a lunatic. I was so scared for that day. And I even told AOC, hey, just stay home today. Stay away from Washington. And I tried to push on people, anyone I could, to just lock down those planes. And I felt totally crazy. But you know what? In the end, it turned out that I wasn't the only one like that. Top-ranking military officers were just totally lost their mind and just convinced that there was going to be some attack like I was. And who knows, maybe they locked those planes down and that's why there wasn't. That's your behind the scenes.